Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osman. In this week's episode, construction begins on a new Pierson Elementary School. Afternoon showers bring tricky driving conditions, and the Lifeguard Nationals are headed back to our beach. Later on in the program, Joanne Magley sits down with Deanie Lowe and Jerry Brandon from COAD. Those segments and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. I hope you stay tuned. It was a great day in Pierson as students, parents, faculty, and staff and the community came together to celebrate the groundbreaking of the long-awaited Pierson Elementary Replacement School. Sitting on 24 acres, 1 mile north of the current Pierson Elementary and Taylor Middle and High Schools, the new school will be the first to be built with funds from the half-cent sales tax extension.
Our Pierson Replacement School is absolutely prototypical of what 21st century learning looks like. It's very, very high tech, extremely secure. We've consolidated our buildings. There's no question that when people walk through the new Pierson, they will start to realize what a 21st century education really looks like, and being able to build to accommodate all those as opposed to accommodating those things in the environment, it's very different.
The design of the new school sets the standard for a 21st century facility incorporating higher level learning concepts and includes input from students, parents, faculty, and staff, and the community. As a nod to the fern industry in Seville and Pierson, the school will incorporate architectural elements on the school's front exterior representing ferns.
I'm so appreciative to everyone with the Volusia County School Board and the taxpayers of the Volusia County that approved the half-cent sales tax. But this is a happy day for the town of Pierson and all of the kids of Northwest Volusia. You know, it's going to be really what a nice addition to the school system here in Volusia County, right here in the town of Pierson. So we're very proud. And
the new Pierson Elementary School will open for students in August of 2018 and continue to serve the same student population under the leadership of current principal Kimberly Hutcherson.
To be here at the groundbreaking for this new school is just exciting for everyone in our community. And so the schools are a very important piece in this small community because it is so small. And our kids, we have grandparents, moms and dads, aunts and uncles that have gone through the school system here in this area, and so everybody's just connected in some way to our schools. We have so many after-school programs and different activities that happen in the afternoons and evenings, so this will be nice to have the space to kind of do all the fun things and community events that we want to do.
For more information about Volusia County Schools, you can visit myvolusiaschools.org. Volusia County Council members recently joined with officials from the city of Edgewater to break ground on a new trail. The 1.2-mile trail stretches from Dale Avenue to 10th Street in Edgewater. It will close a gap on the 270-mile St. Johns River to Sea Loop, which is a series of trail systems crossing Volusia and 4 other counties.
Volusia County has a lot to be proud of from what we have done for years. This is a culmination of years of visionary leadership through our trail queen, Pat Northey, who started this and then is continuing in the buy-in and the collaboration with our cities and the funding from the county. It's just been a beautiful process that we're seeing the fruits of now after all these years.
The Edgewater Trail was one of the first in Volusia to be granted funding under Florida's Sun Trail program, which allocates $25 million a year to connect paved trails for bicyclists and pedestrians. The city received $1.1 million from the state, plus another $82,000 from Volusia County's ECHO program to complete the project.
That's where the county staff really deserves the kudos, because they did that. They applied and fought vigorously for our funding and was successful, obviously. So this is a first Sun Trail groundbreaking statewide, not just in the city, but Volusia County, but the state of Florida. So it's something to celebrate, and Volusia County and Edgewater and New Smyrna and all of our cities should be very proud of what we're doing.
The Sun Trail program will fund trail gaps throughout Volusia County, including portions of the Spring to Spring and rail trails. For more information about Sun Trail, you can visit floridasuntrail.com.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Hurricane preparedness is the topic of the day for this week's Solutions for Your Life. And Lisa Hamilton has the details to help stock your pantry for the next big storm.
Welcome to Solutions for Your Life. I'm Lisa Hamilton, University of Florida IFAS Extension Agent in Volusia County. I'm here today with an important message about nutrition during the upcoming hurricane season. I've asked Patrick Zayas to join me today. Patrick is the manager of the Family Nutrition Program here in Volusia County. Patrick, can you tell us about the importance of remembering nutrition when you're preparing foods for your hurricane kit?
Yeah, and what happens is usually when people think about hurricanes, they think of parties, and this is usually the first thing they go to is chips. But there's a lot of information that we need to keep in mind, especially My Plate. And so we have this kind of as an easy way, easy to view, easy way to understand this information. So we broke things up by breakfast, lunch, and dinner right here. And when you're thinking about your breakfast foods, usually you're thinking about whole grains. A lot of people think about grain foods at breakfast time, things like cereals, bagels, breads, all of that. So we have a couple different options over here with our grain foods for breakfast. We have things like cereals, oatmeal, and various other whole grain products that you can make. It's important to remember whole grains during a hurricane because if you go long periods of time without eating meals, whole grains keep you a little bit more full for longer. Right on down here we have our canned and prepackaged fruits and vegetables. It's important to understand that fresh, frozen, canned, nutritionally are all going to be the same. The only thing you want to look out for with these products is making sure that if you're buying the canned fruits that you don't have the extra syrup with a ton of sugar added to it. Just get the no salt added, no sugar added, just in water fruits and vegetables. And then for lunch we kind of broke it up a little bit. We have prepackaged meats and canned meats up here, different things you can mix with some condiments to maybe to make a meal. And of course we have our grain foods over here. And so for dinner what we end up having is a couple different options, things like this, package, easy to make. All you have to do is really add some water to some sort of dish and get some nutritious food out of it. And then of course we have our meats in the back and different things such as our dairy and vegetables.
Patrick, thank you so much. This is really important information. It's also very important to remember when you're putting your hurricane kit together to store enough water. The recommendation is 1 gallon of water per person per day for drinking and 1 gallon per day per person for hygiene and for cooking. And speaking of cooking, when you're packing that kit, it's very important to remember you're going to be preparing the foods and cleaning up after you eat. And so remember to put in cooking utensils, storage items for leftovers, and napkins, plates, and silverware for service. And finally, to make sure that you have soap and disinfectant to clean up after yourself after you've prepared foods.
It's important to prepare for the hurricanes now rather than later. We know that there's going to be run out in the stores leading up to such an event. It's important to keep in mind when you're shopping to pick things that are going to be shelf stable for a long time, whether it's canned or fresh, things that are going to last and things that you're going to be able to make multiple meals out of if you need to.
All of this information and more is available on our website at volusia.org/extension. You'll find recipes, checklists, and other information about preparing for hurricane season. This has been part one of a two-part series on hurricane preparedness. Next time, we're going to talk about safely preparing foods after the hurricane. With Solutions for Your Life, I'm Lisa Hamilton.
And I'm Patrick Zayas.
Summertime brings beach weather to Volusia County, along with the return of daily afternoon thunderstorms. With the possibility of these afternoon thunderstorms turning severe, motorists should monitor weather reports and use caution when out and about in the afternoon. Driving in severe weather conditions can significantly increase the potential for a dangerous situation.
Just because you went to work one way and the weather was a certain way doesn't mean that's how it's going to be on your way home. We need all drivers in Central Florida to be constantly prepared for that. And once that rain starts to come down, whether it's light, heavy, you need to have your headlights on. And with the whole system kind of put together, headlights on, wipers on, both of them need to work together.
Other tips include slow down and be cautious of high winds. Turn around, don't drown. Don't use hazard signals.
If you feel, and here's the whole caveat behind it, if you feel you need to turn your hazard lights on, go ahead and move to the shoulder, because at that point, you're telling everyone and yourself you're not comfortable driving in the conditions that are currently present. So move your car to the shoulder, stop, and activate your hazard lights. You moving is causing more of disruption for everyone around you with your hazard lights, because now they're not focused on what's going on in front of them and focused on you, and you don't want that.
For more information about driving safety, you can visit the Florida Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles website at www.flhsmv.gov. While the daily afternoon thunderstorms bring much needed rain to our area, which helps with the fire danger, the rain also brings an increase in unwanted mosquitoes. Volusia County's mosquito control has been actively surveying and spraying for mosquitoes. Spraying operations include truck and aerial spraying to cover large areas of the county quickly. Residents can learn the spray locations by visiting volusia.org/mosquito or by following at VC News Info on Twitter. Spray locations and times are regularly tweeted. Even with mosquito control's diligence to reduce the pests, it takes everyone doing their part.
What residents can do is exactly what we do, only do it on a weekly basis. It's impossible for us to inspect every home and contend with every container in every home in the district and the county. So we ask residents to go out at least once a week between mid-May, late May, and mid-October, late October. That's our season. That's our container season. If they'll just go out once a week and tip over any containers that may hold rainwater, if they'll just tip that out or flush it out once a week, that will take care of any mosquito production that might result.
Residents also can request mosquito control service in their area by calling 386-424-2920 in New Smyrna Beach or 386-239-6516 in Daytona Beach. For more information about mosquito prevention and protection, you can visit volusia.org/mosquito. The nation's top lifeguards will return to Volusia County this summer to compete in the National Lifeguard Championships August 9th through 12th. With a nod toward the county's beautiful and spacious beaches, the U.S. Lifesaving Association again selected Volusia County as the site for the prestigious competition.
In 2015, it brought in $1,012,562. A lot of those athletes and their families will be coming in. They'll be utilizing our restaurants, utilizing the shops, the gas, the heads and beds, all those things that bring economic development into the community.
The 4-day event, which is expected to draw thousands of competitors along with their families, will be held on the beach behind the Ocean Walk in Daytona Beach. The competition is open to professional, alumnus, life, and junior members of the USLA. Events will include board races, surf swims, surf boat race, beach flag, and rescue races, running relays, Ironman and Ironwoman competitions, and a 2K beach run.
This is going to bring athletes from all over the country. You'll have people from California, you'll have people from New York, from Smith Point, from Mammoth Beach. The highest top-rated athletes will be here in Daytona Beach for this competition.
Swanson and local businessman Charlie Leidecker will co-chair the event. Both were instrumental in convincing the USLA to select Daytona Beach for the national competition. Leidecker is a former Volusia County lifeguard and medalist in previous lifeguard competitions. The competitions will be organized by the U.S. Life Saving Association and the Volusia Surf Life Saving Association in conjunction with Volusia County's Beach Safety Division. Sponsorship opportunities are available by calling 386-239-SURF for details. Volusia County hosted the national championships in 1982, 1996, 2004, and 2015, and the World Life Saving Championships in 2002. It's hurricane season, a time to be prepared should a storm threaten Volusia County. Let's go now to join Community Information Director Joanne Magley as she sits down for a chat about the community organizations who help people recover following a disaster.
Thanks, Amber. Well, when Hurricane Matthew's winds blew into Volusia County, it left behind thousands of people in need throughout the county. With more than 10,000 properties affected, many residents found themselves struggling to deal with the immense debris and damages to their homes. But stepping up to address those needs was the Volusia Community Organizations Active in Disasters, also known as COAD. So joining me today is Jerry Brandon, incoming chair for COAD, and Deanie Lowe, who also assists with COAD's efforts. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about COAD. And Deanie, I know you are basically the founder of COAD. So give us a little bit of background.
Well, it all started in 2013. The mobile home park named Terra Mar suffered a disastrous tornado. And there were homes that were destroyed, homes that were greatly damaged, but there were not enough of these for them to be able to apply for FEMA funds, which is for the Federal Emergency Management Association funds that come in when there's a certain percentage of homes in a development that are destroyed. So the Emergency Operations Center, Volusia County's center, Pat White, was calling everybody she could think of to see if anybody could volunteer to go in and help these people, to put blue tarps on their roofs, to help them clear up the fallen trees in their yards. And so that pointed out the fact that we needed an organization that could step in and fill the gaps when city, county, state, or federal agencies cannot do it.
So you mentioned emergency management, and so since COAD formed, how do you coordinate with emergency management as it relates to volunteers and resources?
Well, we actually sit at the Emergency Operations Center during a disaster, just prior to it and during it and right afterwards. We take the place of Emergency Support Function 15, ESF 15. The county has several ESFs, and they're all in charge of different areas. Well, ESF 15 is in charge of volunteers and donations. And so we sit there and we take the phone calls from people who need help, and we need a volunteer for them to help, or people who want to donate items.
So, so walk us through it. You're in the EOC, and calls come in, and there has to be a lot of organization to these volunteers, because when a disaster strikes, a lot of people want to help. They don't know how to help. But there needs to be coordination involved with that.
I think that's a good time for you to talk about our Volunteer Reception Center, Jerry.
We've organized and started an organization called Volunteer Reception Center. And what it does is connects the people that want to volunteer with the agencies and individuals and the businesses in the community. So if something comes in that tarps we need to have X amount of tarps, we have a booklet that we've already pre-arranged with different businesses to get tarps, get water, get different types of food, different, whatever it might be. And we'll hook up that particular individual that wants to volunteer with, like United Way, for instance, or Red Cross, or whatever agencies that we need to. We're not out there ourselves. What we're doing is putting the right people to the right organizations at the right time as they're needed. And to do that, we started this volunteer reception center. And it's worked extremely well. We haven't put it into actual usage during the storm, but we've been through dry runs since it's relatively new. And it's worked out to a point where other communities, other cities throughout the county, and or throughout the state of Florida, the other counties, want to have part of it. So we put it open for everybody. And it's now all electronically done instead of the old paper and pencil format that we originally started with. And it's now even going nationwide. It's been so well accepted. And what it does is, like I said, it puts the proper people with the proper need at the proper time.
So basically it organizes everything into an online database, if you will, so that you can see what the need is, you can see where the resource is, and just coordinate that way?
Yeah, we started a matrix where we put all the different organizations and the different businesses on a system, and then we can match them up as they need it. The call comes in from the Red Cross, for an example, saying we need 5 people. We've got volunteers here, and we'll send them to whatever area that's needed.
So we're talking about hurricanes, but COAD doesn't necessarily just start and stop for hurricane season.
No, it goes year-round, and we meet year-round. We have our general membership meetings every other month in the odd-numbered months. And in the even-numbered, well, in fact, every month, the steering committee, which is like a board of directors, meets to talk about what projects we're going to take on and who's going to work on what. And so it's a great organization, and we're really anxious to have more people join, more organizations. We like for clubs to be members, and if they can, send at least one representative to the general membership meetings, and of course all of them are welcome. We normally have our meetings at the airport, but we may be changing that soon.
So if somebody wants to get involved with COAD, are they signing up to be a volunteer?
All of us know that if we have our own personal needs after a disaster, then we're better off taking care of our needs. However, if your family's doing fine and your home is okay, then we would like for you to jump in with your expertise. You know, if you can operate a bulldozer, we may need a bulldozer down in New Smyrna.
Sure.
Or if you can get up on a rooftop and spread a tarp, then we need you to do that. But we don't expect people to leave their own personal needs to come take care of someone else.
So you mentioned how COAD meets regularly, but you actually encourage people living in neighborhoods to also meet. And so you have a program that you're working on to encourage those meetings.
Yes, we have a program called Map Your Neighborhood. And what it does is takes a neighborhood, and we'll have a meeting, and maybe with 10 people in a particular block, we'll say, and we'll set them up with a program, how to look after their own individual needs, their families, and then their neighbors. So they'll identify each person in that particular block. And they'll have the names, they'll have the telephone number that they can be reached at, any problems with children or elderlies, pets, and all this is identified. Along with that, there's any particular skills a person in the neighborhood would have, a carpenter, electrician, a plumber that may be utilized. They also will set up what's called a safe house, where if needed, they can go to that particular home. The block captain will then go around after everybody's been settled and check each home, each family. And we put up these little signs, a red sign and a green sign. The green sign being okay in the window, and the red sign help. And so right away we know how to identify. And then that's expanded through a whole neighborhood. We do the, we've actually trained over 4,000 people in Volusia County with this system so far, and we've got so much more to go.
Really, a lot of this is because we know that when any kind of disaster strikes, especially a hurricane, it could be 3 days before we see emergency personnel, just because of the conditions and what else is going on in the county.
Absolutely.
Right, and so we are actually helping some of the local emergency services because these people are able to take care of themselves until the services can actually get to them.
So you need more people involved with COAD, and if a business or organization wants to get involved, how can they get more information?
Well, they could call us. We have an east side of the county number that is 872-3705. We have a west side that's 561-9767. And to learn more about our organization, you can go online. We have a website, and it's www.volusiacoad.org. And actually on our website, you are able to sign up as a member. There's a place to join. So we would love to have everyone join.
All right. Anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
I think.
Yeah, I think so, if I can. Each year, we've been putting, for the past 4 years since we've been in existence, a expo. And this is a hurricane or a storm preparation expo. And we've been to the west side of the county. We've been down to New Smyrna Beach, Ormond Beach, Daytona Beach. And we bring in as many different organizations as possible. It would be the Red Cross, United Way. It'll have the police department, fire department, sheriff's department will be there. Somebody from the radio stations or the TV stations for the weathermen. And we'll give out, from time to time, working with the emergency management for Volusia County, radios, for weather radios, and for generators, those small ones for your cell phones to recharge them. And we have all kinds of brochures from the FEMA, and explains how to take care of the elderly, the disabled, your particular needs, your families, your pets, whatever it might be. We have some type of brochures that we hand out and go over all this material with them. And we set up tables, and it's been quite successful.
And so you'll be having that information when you finalize it. Will that be on your website for COAD?
Yes, it will be.
All right, so Jerry Brandon, the incoming chair for Community Organizations Active in Disasters, along with Deanie Lowe. And Deanie, I need to mention that if people recognize you, it's because you're our former longtime supervisor of elections here with Volusia County.
Retired now.
Yes. So glad that you're still involved. So thank you for your service. And thank you both for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Amber, back to you.
Thanks, Joanne, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osman, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.